Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Pierrified vlog, where I like to discuss the joys and challenges of living with a disability. Now, one of those challenges that I want to talk about today is choking. Now, with DMD, we know that it's a gradual weakening of muscles over time. So, unfortunately, there's muscles all over the human body, and one of those areas is the throat. So, the first time I realized that this was going to be a problem was when I was out for lunch with some friends at one point. We went out for Vietnamese, so we had some soup, and there was noodles and vegetables, and either seafood, chicken, or beef. And at that point, I had the beef. So the food kind of finally comes out. We start digging in, and I get some food stuck in my throat. Thank God I was still able to breathe. There was still a little bit of space for air to come in and out. So thank God for that. But still, I'm struggling, and a friend of mine looks across the table and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I just shook my head. I was having lots of trouble." So she grabs the phone and calls 911 to let them know I'm choking. As she's doing that, another buddy of mine jumps up and he's like, "What do I do? What do I do?" He was about to give me the Heimlich, but because of weakened muscles and weakened bones, that probably wasn't a good idea because it would have hurt, and because I had a little bit of airway, I figured the ambulance might have a better way of clearing it out. But still, I didn't want to just sit there and wait. So I grabbed the chopstick and tried to force the food down or hook it and pull it out. That is a terrible idea. So don't ever do that, and just move on to something else. So that's what I did, thinking I have another better idea. Ended up being worse. I asked my buddy to pat me on the back and like hit harder and harder, just to dislodge it and get it moving. But I guess at the moment I thought that was a great idea, but later on, I found out that that's a very bad idea because it could have pushed the food back and would have eliminated that little air hole that I had. So, as the paramedics are on their way, I'm fighting and fighting and fighting with this thing. Finally, it clears out, like seconds before the paramedics walk in. As they walk in the door, I was like, "Hey guys, how you doing?" And my friends just gave me heck because I was, they're struggling, they're flying over, you're trying to get there. At least the least I could have done is pretend that I still needed their help. But thank God I was able to breathe, caught my breath, and I didn't need their help. It actually happened three other times with me. One of them was actually an M&M that got lodged in my throat, and I actually had to go to the hospital and get them to put a scope down my throat to push it through. Now, the reason why I say this is just to give some advice. So, if you're suffering from DMD or any other neurological condition that can affect the way you swallow, just make sure you have a chit chat with your doctor and get them to come up with an action plan. But even if you don't have a condition that affects your swallowing, if you know somebody or are around somebody with that, just make sure you chit chat with them as well to ask them if there's something that they should do if you get into that situation. One of the reasons why I started this blog was just to help educate people out there, and I'm hoping that adds a little bit of education to the cause. Now, before I finish up today, I just wanted to wish everybody a happy Easter. Now, we know some people recently celebrated, and some other people are, like myself, are about to celebrate this weekend. So I wanted to wish everyone a happy Easter. And I just wanted to touch briefly on faith. And just to say that with this battle of constant weakening muscles and having to adapt and change things to make life, comfortable and, improve quality of life by doing all these adaptations, it's really nice to have one constant in your life, one thing to anchor, and for me, that's Jesus Christ. And having that anchor really makes the battle with DMD worth fighting, just to have that constant, consistent thing in life. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day.